Welcome. Today I'm going to show you guys how to play 8 Minute Empire. Now this was designed, once again, by Ryan Lockett and published by Red Raven Games. Now obviously the box on the game is very beautiful to look at, especially like the sea serpent. Now the game doesn't really actually have anything to do with sea serpents at all, but nonetheless the artwork on the box is very nice. Now, the rest of the game is obviously not super beautiful. This is not an overly beautiful game. Like most of his games, this is not one of them that's extremely beautiful. But this is a game that was meant to be played in a very short amount of time. This is an area control game. And as far as area control games go, usually they are a lot longer. But in this game, it's relatively short. Now, it might be called 8 Minute Empire, but the game really cannot be played in 8 minutes. Unless everybody took 15 seconds on their turn and were like experts at this game, still, it could not be played in 8 minutes. But 15-20 minutes is definitely reasonable for this game. Now, in this game, you're going to start with 3 armies at the starting location. I'm playing I've got it set up for a 3-player game, and so there are 3 armies in 3 different colors here. They all actually start here on this space here, which is the starting space. That's where they're all going to start. Now, everybody is going to start in a 3-player game. Everybody is going to start with 11 money. Now, there's no point in holding on to all your money in this game. So you're definitely going to want to use this money as much as possible. One of the ways you can do that is, in order to decide who goes first, you'll bid money to decide who will go first. I wouldn't, of course, waste all your money on the bid, but you might want to bid 2 or 3 money at least if you want to try to go first, because the player who goes first will have an advantage. Because once when in a 3-player game, whoever goes first has the advantage, because you'll see that there are 6 cards out, and each card has an action at the bottom of the card. This is what really matters. What this does at the bottom of each card, okay, is the action that you can take, and some actions are better than others. So going first will possibly give you the best advantage. Another thing it could give you a good advantage of, you'll notice that some of these cards, this one here has 2 carrots on it. This one only has a carrot. This one has, I'm not even sure what this is. Some sort of stone or piece of armor, maybe. There's a tree over there. And then this is an anvil. And this is a wild resource. It can act as any resource. So obviously this one or this one, in terms of resources or goods, might be the most, the 2 best to go after just because of that. In this game, you're going to get victory points in a number of different ways. You're going to get victory points for having various armies and cities. These discs indicate cities. You're going to get various victory points based on all of that, depending on who controls a region, how many armies you have, etc., etc. Cities, you're going to get points for that. You're also going to get points for all of these goods. And let's grab this card here as an example. At the end of the game, if you have 5 carrots, you get 8 points. So this is 2 carrots here. So if you have this card, you'll already have 2 carrots. So you're going to get 5 points just for having this one card. So if you get another carrot, 3 carrots, well, now you've got even more points towards the end of the game. So that's pretty cool that you can get a bunch of victory points based on the amount of goods that you have. So obviously getting to choose which ones you want to buy is definitely a good strategy. And this here will indicate how many money you'll have to spend in order to purchase the card. So for the first card is free. This one's going to cost 1. This one's going to cost 1. This one's going to cost 2. This one's going to cost 2. And that one is going to cost 3. Now, if everyone starts with 11 money, there is no way to get additional money in this game. So once you've used it up, you'll be stuck to buying whatever happens to be the first card, which may not always be the best card there is, especially in action-wise. There are various actions you can take on your turn. So let's talk about the actions that we have right here. You'll notice that we have actually 2 different actions here, okay? So that's interesting. This one also has 2 different actions as well. So that's pretty cool. And so let's talk about these actions. Okay. So this one here says you can place armies. You'll start with 3 armies. You'll notice that we have more than 3 armies. These 3 cubes here. Each cube indicates an army. So I could take the action where I get to add 3 more of my cubes or armies to the starting region, or if I have an empire, if I have one of these cities somewhere out, I can put them in that location too, or just in that location, or just in the starting area. But that gives me, that's the only 2 places I'd be able to place it, or if I had more than one city, if I had a few different cities, I could place several armies down. Or I can take this action and move 3 armies. Now, how do you move? Well, it says I can move 3 armies. I can move 1 army 3 spaces. So I can move, for instance, this one, 1, 2, 3. That is a maneuver that's totally legal. Okay? Another thing I could do is I could move, let's see, I could move 1 this way, I could move 1 this way, and I could move 1 in this direction. I couldn't move this way because I need to have a boat to cross water, so this is the only route I could take. I could move 1 of my armies each, 1 space each, to a maximum of 3. Or I could just move 1 of them 3, or I could move 1, 1, and I could move 1 of them 2, for instance. So that's what that is talking about. So that's how you're going to move your armies around. So that's one of the, that's 2 of the actions you can take right there. This one is, well, basically like the first one where you can add, but you can only add 2 armies with this one. This one you can add 3 armies. This one you can add 2 armies. This one you can add 3 armies. This one here, it has a red line, you'll notice, on one of the cubes. If you decide to take this action, you are allowed to, let's say, Manta is white and Ridley is yellow. I could remove, if I was the one taking this action, I could remove one of his cubes from the board. And I could remove that cube anywhere I want. So basically, I just attacked his army and took it out of the game. So that's what that means as an action that you can take. Or I can place a city down. I can place a city down in a new area. So if I had, for instance, a cube all the way over here, an army, I could place a city in this location here. And now I have a new entry spot for when I place armies down, for instance. So that's something else that you can do on your turn. You can take this action, or you can take this action if this was the card that you took. That's what that means. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, this one allows you to move 5 armies, either 1 army 5 spaces, or 5 of your armies 1 space, etc., etc. So that's pretty powerful too, obviously. And then this one here is the other action you can take. You can move 1 of your armies 3 spaces, even if it was across water to a new region. So this has got the boat on it. So if you take this one, you can move an army 3 spaces, and you can even cross into a new region because you have this boat. Okay? Or you can move 3 of them 1 space across water, for instance. So it's kind of cool. Or 1, 2, and 1, 1. So that's pretty useful. That's basically all the different actions that you can take on your turn. So I've explained that. Now you're probably wondering, what are these things here? There's a carrot. There's a crystal over here. Piece of armor, I'm guessing. An anvil. And a tree up there. Those are extra goods. If you claim this later down the road, it will help you. If you have armies here, for instance, you'll have this extra good all to yourself to help you out, score some additional points. It's just a little extra variant that you can play with. It doesn't, to add some areas to some areas where you'll definitely want to go to. Maybe you want the most carrots, so maybe you'll want to come all the way over here and try to get as many of your armies over to this location as possible to get in a city as well, for instance, all the way over there. Who knows? But that's basically how you play the game. Now, Matt and Ridley are going to play with me in a playthrough of this game. So I'll see you guys in the next video.